And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kev and the gang. Or Kevin and the crew, I would say. The gang's not all here. But the crew is.
I don't know sometimes about him. All right, good morning, JP. Good to hear from you. Good to see you again. Happy Saturday, everybody. So, trying to figure out how to start this with my questioning and how I want to go about it. In basketball, I've had an idea for a long time, you know, and we've had these. What's the role of a coach? Is it supposed to coach your team, help your team win, give instructions, encourage, or is the role of a coach to be a total jerk and yell at other human beings like they're not human beings for 2 hours?
Yell at other human beings like they're not human beings.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Do they put that in their resumes when they go to these schools and these colleges? I'm really good at yelling at umpires or yelling at other disrespecting other men. But if that other man, if I call that other man a name or talk bad about him, if he gets mad or upset about it, Tom, he's a bad. He's even worse of a person.
He's thin-skinned.
He's thin-skinned and even worse of a person. But I should have the right to call that person everything I want to be. Tell him how bad a job he is. But if he doesn't like me telling him how bad he is, he's the bad guy. So that's in almost every sport, obviously. Baseball, it's bad. Basketball is bad. My thing is, by reading the comments on this stuff and watching lately, I've just come to the conclusion that I think most people hate umpires and referees more than they love the game that they go to watch.
I think that.
And I don't understand.
I just think the misery index in this country, for whatever reason, is off the charts. So how do I deal with my misery? Let's go to a ball game and tell an umpire how terrible he is, and I feel better about myself.
That's why I took my wife to the Pinnacle Championship game so she could heckle you, Tom.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of cheering your kids, I love Mandy to death.
I know.
She probably had no idea what she's talking about.
She did. She just blurted it out.
Yelling at Tom doing a job.
I worked with another guy.
Tom's on the pay.
As soon as we got done, the guy's like, his wife came and watched him umpire the game. He's there with his kids and his wife, and they're all going out to eat. That's what people should be doing. Like, find something in life to enjoy. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time together. But instead of doing that, it's like, we're just going to get together. We're going to enjoy ourselves and watch a ball game. We're going to go there and scream at umpires.
Right.
And it's just dumb. And that's what I mean.
I think it's also not just dumb. I think it's
dumb.
learned.
Oh yeah.
Now, listen, I have seen other coaches heard them telling players of mine it was the umpire's fault. You struck out. You got out, little Johnny.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the thing where people do not take what is it, responsibility or whatever for your own actions or I failed.
Like, they don't take constructive criticism.
I tell my kids at the start of the season, the greatest baseball player that ever played got out 7 out of 10 times. Mm-hmm. Before y'all do anything today and worry about what you did today, the best baseball player that ever walked this earth got out 7 out of every 10 times. And if y'all can't deal with that, it's not the umpires didn't strike out all 7 of them. Like it's not that. So like this stuff is when you go to the ballparks, folks, cheer your kids on in the game. It's the umps aren't looking to screw you or anything like that.
Especially in the little.
When you start running your mouth, that's when I'm like, okay, your Johnny's getting a strike on the next one because you won't shut up.
We had an ejection in the district tournament over there.
Did we?
Coach had to turned his hat around backwards to go yell at the umpire. I will tip my cap to them. They dealt with it. They suspended that coach for 2 games, which they should have. It's a 9-year-old game, Zach. It's 9-year-olds.
You're trying to teach the kids how to play the game,
and you wonder why.
It ain't always about winning the game.
You wonder why the kids act the way they do, but it's not all the kids' fault because the adults are setting the example. Now, me too. Though when I go out on the field, I try to be professional. You're not going to get everything right. There ain't there ain't an umpire that's called a game completely right.
Right.
Ever. Because you're a human being. Somebody say if a human being's touched it, it's going to be flawed. But at the same time, just be professional. do your job. Don't involve you, don't interject, don't cause problems.
And if one umpire gets this call wrong, there's going to be something on your side that you're going to get reciprocal back.
Kind of balances out.
Yeah.
So just be a professional, do your job. And just like if you're a fan, do your job, cheer on your team. If you're a player, do your job, just play the game.
So I guess everyone knows or seen by now the highlights of the Coastal Carolina coach.
Yeah, I did see that.
And the umpire falling down.
Kevin-
I did see that.
Kevin Schnall, and I read all the comments, Tom, and like you said, I haven't commented or responded to anybody. I'm wanting to get the overall feel of what the world is saying.
Yeah, I actually posted about that.
And that's where I got to the 90% thing where, like, I just think people hate umpires. Like, every comment, ump show. And I'm just like, did the coach do anything? Did he do anything wrong? Tom, maybe you've seen more video than I haven't, because I've been trying to watch a little bit of it. From what I collect from the Coastal fans is that this coach was sitting in the dugout and he was reading scripture along with the team chaplain.
Yeah.
And they were going over the lineup together and doing their daily prayers. And the home plate umpire just decided, you know what? I hate that jackass. He's gone. Is that what happened? Because that's what Coastal Carolina fans say is what happened.
Well, he wasn't reading Blessed Are the Peacemakers for sure.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, did he do anything? That's what I'm saying. If he didn't start acting like a jerk, the ending result of you being a jerk wouldn't be you asking to be leave the building in the first inning. Whatever happened between you starting to act like a jerk and you being told to leave because you're a jerk, you can't blame on other people, right? So that's what blows my mind on all this is that they act like he was over reading the scriptures and blessing holy water on his batters over here, and it's just ridiculous. I'm trying to find. I'm going to get some audio from him, and you want to read the? I'm going to read the statement from the
Probably the AD or something.
Coastal Carolina state. This is the statement from. It's not saying who wrote it, but I'll read it for the folks out there. Let me fix that so the folks at home.
Yeah, they dumped the
can see
assistant coach too. Yeah.
Yeah, assistant coach was gone too. The ejections of the head coach Kevin Schnall and the assistant coach Matt Schilling in the bottom of the first inning drastically altered the trajectory of a must-win game for our team. Tom, did they do anything? Did the coaches do anything wrong? Remember, these decisions were made with an alarming level of haste, without an attempt at de-escalation, so what are we de-escalating, Tom? Who's escalated? Who's mad? Who's the one acting like in the third 20th word they've already admitted my coach is a jackass right here. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, and deprived our student athletes of the leadership they have relied on throughout a historic postseason run. Oh my God, cry me a river, Coastal. So
it is about the coach looked real professional coming out there.
It's about process and professionalism are the next 5 words that come out of this statement.
Gaslighting at the highest level.
In the biggest moment of the college baseball season, our program and its student athletes deserved better. So, again, because it's the NCAA championship game, my coach should be able to walk out there and act like a jerk in the first inning and not get thrown out. Is that what we're supposed to do? Okay. So he could have just sat there and not said anything about balls and strikes. Tom, what's one of the first rules you can't argue? You
cannot argue balls and strikes.
All right, yeah, I thought so. In the biggest moment of college baseball, blah, blah. I just read they deserve better. The NCAA must reevaluate how it trains, assigns, and reviews umpires in championship environments. We expect consistency, communication, and the same level of excellence from our officials that we demand of our teams. Our players have represented this university, this conference, and college baseball with the integrity and heart. They deserve the opportunity to compete for a national championship with their leaders, and were denied that opportunity today. Did he not start the game? Did he have a coaches meeting? Was he announced? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, coach for the Coastal Carolina, Kevin Schnall.
He came out of that.
There's no accountability in that about anything from them. No accountability.
He came out of that dugout like he was at a bar starting to fight. He came out of that dugout like another guy slapped his girlfriend on the rear. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't do that, man. You can't. I mean, all the aggression was from him.
Yeah.
Every bit of that aggression was from him. It's the bottom of the first inning.
Correct. And we're arguing balls and strikes.
We're arguing balls and strikes, and you're coming out there like Roddy Piper. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I mean, that's just. And I know it's a championship game, so what's the assumption here? That I have to take more crap because it's a championship game. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. You don't do that.
No.
He walked away. He's trying to walk away. I do feel bad about the guy who fell. Look kind of dumb, but it just happens that way. I mean, just the way that guy acted, and that level of aggression is just stupid.
Yeah. I would. If my kid was an elite baseball player, he wouldn't go sit under that administration. I can tell you that right
That's
now.
what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Would you? And I see people like, I'll run through a brick wall for that coach. Let my kids play for them. And that's some of the comments. And my comments were, ain't no way.
Right.
Ain't no way my son's playing for him.
Your kids are going to mimic what he does.
Or he's going to take that out on your kid at some point.
Yeah, right.
That's an abusive man and a coach. I've seen I know exactly what this is. You want to hear his comments?
Crying.
1.7. Coach, you guys, Coastal Carolina played for the national championship. They lost 2 games by 3 runs. What do you want your players to remember about this year and the College World Series?
Well, they accomplished a lot. They accomplished a lot to get us just back to Omaha after what we did in 2016, and then to come to Omaha and play the way we did and get us back to the World Series finals is really incredible. And this team will go down. Unfortunately, we lost, but these two games won't define what this team was. I mean, if this team won a national championship, you could argue this was the best college baseball season in the history. I mean, I'm a little bit of a college geek.
All right, so if his team wins, Tom, it's the best college baseball team in the history of baseball. So what does that mean about the team that just beat you? Are they the greatest team ever? Is that what he just said?
I'd go back and think about the 95 Fullerton team. I think had 9 losses.
Tom, who played on the 95 Fullerton team?
Don't know a single player.
Zach, do you know?
There was a Miami team there in 2000.
I bet their coach didn't get kicked out in the first inning.
What was that? 2001. Miami was really good.
Yeah, Greg Olson, Kellen Winslow. They had Clinton Portis. What is he talking about, Miami in 2001?
You could put this team up if we won the national championship. I mean, this team would have been in conversation with the best season ever in college baseball.
73-win Warriors. They're pretty good.
Well, I was going to say the Patriots.
The Patriots are 15-1.
Undefeated and got beat in the Super Bowl.
Now they're not even listing top 20 teams ever, probably. Went 15-1. So, excuse me. Let's see.
There's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issue.
That's because you're probably going ballistic and your hearing was turned
Tom,
off.
when's the last time someone spoke to him like a subordinate where he needed to listen and be like, yes, sir, okay? Because I don't think just starting it off like that, I don't think it's been a while since someone has talked down to him. And he is such on his own pedestal. It is insane.
As the head coach, I was an assistant for 24 years. And
Congratulations.
As an assistant,
It took you 24 years to get a head coaching job. He just it took him a quarter century to get promoted, Tom.
like a second level
I'm so
citizen,
fed up with this dude. It ain't
and you
fun.
can't say a word. Now, as a head coach, I think it is your right to get an explanation of why we got warned. And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man.
But should another big grown man be yelling at you from the dugout about your balls and strikes?
Or coming at you like
It's when I come out to ask what the warning is.
came out to ask,
a
Tom.
grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3.
You're not supposed to argue balls and strikes. There's your problem.
At that point, ejected.
That should have been the end of the story, right?
That's
now?
it.
Should have been. Ain't that what it's supposed to be? Ain't that what the coaches, umpires means what it's supposed to be?
Once you're warned,
So he acknowledges his warning, and then he thought to be, well, I'm
Continues
still
to
gonna
argue.
tell you missed 3. And I know by reading his mouth
That he did.
there was the F word in between you missed and 3 times.
yeah, I know.
If that
You effing missed 3 is what he said.
warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize. 2 words that define our program are own it. And what does that mean is you have to own everything that you do.
Does anyone at Coastal have a mirror? Does anyone at Coastal Carolina have? After the statement, he just says this, and then the statement they put out.
Without blame, without defending yourself, without excuses. If you guys watched the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively
Yeah, it was you.
over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately goes 2-game suspension and said, bumping the umpire. Immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. They'll retract it, though, because now it's excessive. And the reason why it's excessive, because I was trying to say, I didn't bump him. It is what it is. But if that warranted an ejection, man, there'd be a lot of ejections. As an umpire, I feel like it's your job to manage the game, the national championship game, with some poise, some calmness, and a little bit of tolerance.
All right, before I let Tom rant on this, he wants the umpire to have poise, but not him. He wants everyone else to make good decisions, but not him. He wants everyone else to be nice, but not him. He wants everyone else to have accountability, but not him. Now, I started this with a basketball thing, and I know I didn't clear that up, but this is where I'm going with this. The NBA officials, and we know that they've had their fixing problem or whatever. I've thought at some point level, we all grow up and we all play basketball, right? Zach, do we have officials at the park? We
No.
call our own fouls, do we not? I've always thought, hey, call your own fouls. Let's call our own fouls in basketball. The refs can help with out of bounds, travel, stuff like that. Let's call our own fouls. And when LeBron says, I got fouled and wants to go to the line on a BS foul, now you got 25,000 people booing you. Take some accountability. So, Tom, have you ever met a coach that didn't know every rule in baseball? Have you ever met a coach that didn't know that every strike that you called was right or wrong? Have you ever met a coach that didn't know every call on the field from where he was sitting in the dugout? So every coach I've ever met knows all that. But all the umpires are idiots. All the umpires are blind. But the guys sitting in the dugout see everything and know everything. So my proposal is, instead of having mamas and daddies out here yelling at everybody, to fix baseball, umpire your own damn games. Just stop it right there. Head coach, you're behind the plate today. Y'all rotate innings. You got this, you got the other pitcher, or however y'all want it, whatever you think's the fairest. I'm tired. I'm almost tired. I don't even umpire anymore. I'm just tired of every game. He acted like an idiot. His team got beat, and he's crying up here about his behavior and accountability of someone else. When all he had to do was just shut up about balls and strikes in the first inning. There are, if you count, 27 outs? How many do they play in college? Do they play 9 innings?
They play 9 innings.
27 outs times 3. So now you got 60, 81 strikes to argue about, dude. And you're not supposed to argue about a single one of them. Just shut up. So am I not right, Tom? These eagle-eyed coaches that roam our earth, that none of them have ever volunteered to umpire, should all go behind. That's my new rule. Head coaches, you're behind the plate when the other team pitches. So you're calling them. So you're answering to mama. You're answering to daddy. The other coach goes on the field. And y'all just rotate every inning. Is that a solution? Then who are we arguing with? Because they all know it.
Well, I was working with a veteran last night, and he said, "You know why we have all the problems in baseball?" He goes, "It's not coaches, it's umpires." And this is all I said. Well, what are you talking about? He goes, "Well, umpires don't have the cojones to do what they're supposed to do." Was basically what he said. And
everybody in the park out.
No, it's just like if you're taught to keep your poise. Like, I haven't been to a camp before, but you're taught to keep your poise. I mean, okay, you don't want to start screaming back at the guy.
Correct.
So, I mean, and I get that, which it didn't look like that. Didn't look like to me that's what the umpires did. It looked like he did keep his poise. And you're coming at him like it's a bar fight at 2 o'clock in the morning down in dirty Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
What's he supposed to do? Well, since this is a national championship game, I'm going to come down here and let you punk me down and scream in my face.
Especially
I
since
mean,
he makes
if you're
20 times
if you're
more
told-
than the umpire does.
If you're told the last two people I ejected, I told them to get in the dugout and they just wouldn't do it. So you're ejected. I mean, it's like, dude, you got to go. Just all that coach had to do was turn around, walk back to the dugout. Turn around and walk back to the dugout. But he didn't. He kept coming. He kept coming. He kept coming. And that's why, I mean, look at this dude. Look at him.
I showed up from the start.
I mean, it's just like he's warning him.
Yep.
Yeah. You missed F and 3. Yeah. I mean, you
Now you're
continue-
gone.
Yeah,
and
now you're gone.
He's already been ejected. He's walking away.
Yep. He's de-escalating the situation.
Yeah, and here you are in his face. And
Tell
you
me he
did-
didn't bump him.
Yeah.
Tell me he did not make contact right there.
Yeah.
How is he going to say he did not make contact right here?
Now the guy's clumsy. I'll say that.
That
but
don't have
still
anything to
doesn't
do
have
with him
anything
not
to do
making contact.
Yeah. You tried to stand right there in front of him and de-escalate things, and he kept on going.
The umpire just went, that's two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then here comes the assistant coach, who was not even supposed to be in the argument.
Nope.
For LSU, this seemed to stem from the first base coach. And then Schnall remarkably gets thrown out of the game. A College World Series game, too,
That's
in the bottom
assistant
of the
over there. He's
first.
over there arguing out.
Well, and I didn't even see that building, guys. Like, it's one pitch, and next thing you know, Schnall's out of the dugout, and Angel Campos had clearly heard enough. That thing escalated quickly.
Again, this will always come back to whatever was said.
Assistant just got called.
He just
They may have just thrown
out of the game.
They may have just thrown another one out.
You're still out here. Ask him for the warning. You're still out here. You're not allowed to ask him for the warning. Why can't I ask him for the warning?
He
You
just
don't
threw
get a
Matt
warning
Schilling out of the
here,
game, first base coach.
I think if you look, and we will obviously look back at it, but
Now remember, those angels, those coaches were angels, Tom. They didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't say nothing mean. They didn't act like a jerk. They didn't do nothing disrespectful. All they did was coaching their boys to victory for good old Teddy Roosevelt.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I mean, now if you see the umpire like scream at him pointing in the dugout or something
Angel
like
Hernandez stuff.
right? Yeah, like if you see him scream at him, point him in the dugout, posturing and all that stuff. Those guys weren't doing any of that. I mean, I've seen jerk umpires that bait coaches. I'm not going to say that doesn't exist because it does.
Right.
Because there's jerks on both sides of this. Let's not pretend like there's not. But at that one, I mean, that guy's just, hey, that's your warning. You missed F and 3. You're gone. I mean, it's just doesn't matter. So I'm supposed to let you cuss me because this is a College World Series.
Right, that's what they're
Right.
saying.
The coach should have been thinking,
You you're supposed to have the poise, Tom,
The coach
Because
to
the
let me just tell you how bad a person you
Yeah,
are.
because the rules change if it's a College World Series game.
But
Yeah,
and here's the
same
thing: he would never say that to you on the other side of that chain link fence. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
the same thing with fans would sit there and argue with, yelling at another team's coach. Like you wouldn't say, none of y'all are saying that on the other side of that fence. And why? This one just really, everybody was like, hey, this guy is just poor coastal coach. You can't act like that. Ump job. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to Tom there. All right, they did have one other controversy at the at the World Series. Zach, did you see them about the Christian song they wouldn't let play?
Did not see that.
Yes, sir. It's called God Is by Kanye West. I'm a little upset that the NCAA didn't allow that song to be played. They only played the instrumental version. They didn't let the words play, but it's okay. God is everything that hath breath. Praise the Lord. That's a verse in the Bible, and that's just something I want everyone to know. You worship Christ, and that's what I'm here to do, and I just want people to know me as the guy who plays baseball that loves Jesus.
I don't want to start a controversy, but they wouldn't play it.
They wouldn't play it.
It's religious?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was religious or Kanye West or whatever, but I was a little upset. That's okay.
Okay, well, let's finish on a high note. So when you're at the box, when did the cell phones and the lights and all that, when that start?
So honestly,
So that's the song he's been using all year, basically, and they wouldn't let him play in the national championship game, even though they played it in the games before up to the national championship game, just not the national championship game. Zach?
Well, just go do your job. Just go do your job.
Well, they did. They won without all the antics from the coastal folks. All right, Tommy, your thoughts on the College World Series?
Well, it's now that's what people are going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about. I mean, I would tell the coach at, congratulations, you made this about you.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you made this about you and not the players, not anything else. We're glad you made this about you, and that's what it's all about. It's about you. That's what these mega maniac, what do you call this? Want to be the cult of personality or whatever,
And then the organization just made it okay for him to do that.
And of course they're
Oh yeah, they backed him up with a statement.
Unbelievable.
they doubled down. They all doubled down on no accountability.
All Coastal Carolina had to say.
Commentary's fault.
We apologize for this unfortunate incident. That's all they had to say. But I mean, we lost, so we got to blame it on somebody. So
they should have had to play. When they
Oh
did
yeah, that's what I meant to bring up. Go ahead, kid. Go ahead, Zach.
When they put the apology up, they should have had to play the video side by side with it.
Yeah,
to show how gaslighting.
And let me
works.
tell you something else. The first time somebody offers that guy $100,000 more to coach baseball, he's gone from Coastal Carolina
Hopefully
anyway.
Somebody
and
will,
he'll be like
he
he was never there. So don't think this guy's loyal to you or your school. He will leave the minute somebody gives him a little bit bigger check. He's gone.
And they're not going to remember. They're going to remember his name or remember the 1995 team's coach or player's name.
So let's go over the box score real quick before try to make sure I understand what happened before we take a break. It was the umpire's fault. The team had 2 errors. It was the umpire's fault. They struck out 13 times. It was the umpire's fault that the leadoff hitter, the number 3 hitter, and the number 4 hitter combined to go 0 for 12. Let's see.
It'll be a bad day for you on that.
White's grounded into a double play. That's totally the umpire's fault. They left 6 on base. Damn umpires. 0 for 3 runners scoring position. And that old error that they had 2 errors, like I said, 2 errors. So the umpires had to go through 4 pitchers. Tom, umpire's fault. So whenever Coastal ends up with their final statement, go ahead and make sure that it was the umpire's fault that we had those 2 errors as well.
Well, I'm glad I make fun of their mascot, the Fighting Chickens, because that's basically what
The
they
French non-fighting chickens is what they are, Tom. They don't. The French.
Yeah,
I don't think the French are going to fight. I think he's a fake fighter.
Congratulations, Myrtle Beach University. You embarrassed yourself on a national stage.
What are the odds Myrtle Beach University embarrassed themselves? We'll be back. KDC Pro.